YB do slap some of them. But it's the simple fact that he the boss, so it's like, nigga cannot touch him. Like, no matter if you won't touch him, I ain't let you touch him. Nobody around you gonna let, none of the real members gonna let you even touch him. So it's like, they gonna get their ass slapped. Or whatever will happen, nobody gonna touch him.
YoungBoy wasn't just caught yelling at his team, he was putting hands on them, and this time it wasn't rumors. DJ Academics himself pulled up to YB's house and personally witnessed it. He said YoungBoy was snapping on his crew, yelling at them and treating them like kids, and nobody dared to fight back. Why? Because when one man feeds your whole family, you don't bite the hand that pays the bills. Step into NBA YoungBoy's world, and the first thing you see is control. It's not just music, fame, or brotherhood. It's survival. Everyone around him eats because of him. He pays the bills. He takes care of moms. He keeps the lights on. On the surface, that looks like loyalty, but look closer. It's power. If your entire life depends on one person, you don't move against him, even when he crosses the line. That's why what DJ Academics revealed shocked fans, but didn't surprise the people closest to YB. Academics is one of the few media guys YB trusts enough to invite to his home, and when he told the story, it confirmed years of whispers. YoungBoy really does snap on his crew. AK said he watched YB yell, put hands on his own homies, and discipline them like a strict parent. The craziest part? Nobody fought back. They just took it. Because when a YB is the provider, respect comes with fear. If he cuts you off, your whole family could be back in poverty tomorrow. That kind of leverage makes him untouchable in his own circle. You can hear it in the way people around him talk, respectful but nervous. They know he could switch up at any moment. From the outside, people wonder, why would any grown man let that happen? But when that man is the reason your kids have food and a roof over their heads, the answer becomes clear. With YB, it's not just friendship, it's dependence, and that's real power. He built himself into the center of everyone's world. Once you're inside his circle, walking away might cost more than staying. The Lil Dump example. If there's anyone who shows just how deep YoungBoy's influence goes, it's his right-hand man, Lil Dump. Dump isn't just a background homie. He's been by YB's side since day one, through the rise, the beefs, and the cases. To outsiders, he looks like just another friend, but the truth is their bond shows how loyalty can sometimes look like submission. At one point, a photo surfaced of Lil Dump with his lip busted and blood running down his face. Fans immediately pointed at YB, and honestly, when you line that picture up with Academic's story, it makes too much sense. YoungBoy is known to snap on his people, and if Dump is his closest one, it means he's probably felt it more than once. Fighting back, or even speaking on it, Lil Dump stayed silent. He stood right beside YB like nothing ever happened. That silence said more than any statement ever could. It showed fans exactly how things really work in that camp. YoungBoy isn't just a boss. To a lot of them, he's a father figure. And Dump proved that himself when a clip went viral of him calling YB his daddy. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't trolling. It was genuine. The kind that comes from being raised under somebody's wing. To Dump, YoungBoy isn't just a rapper with money. He's the man who fed him, sheltered him, and gave him a position when nobody else did. That's what outsiders miss. It's easy to clown him and call him weak for letting another man put hands on him. But when you grow up in Baton Rouge with nothing, and someone like YB takes you in, changes your whole life and puts you on, you see things differently. Dump looks at YoungBoy as the reason he escaped the trenches. So even when YB goes too far, the loyalty never fades. And YoungBoy knows that. That's why he can discipline his crew like a parent with a child and still keep their respect afterward. Dump's story exposes the twisted balance inside YB's inner circle. There's love, there's brotherhood, But there's also fear and control. Dump calling him daddy wasn't just respect, it was the truth. YoungBoy provides, protects, and punishes. And for someone like Lil Dump, who came up under his guidance, those things can't be separated. Mental health and bipolar behavior. One thing that sets NBA YoungBoy apart from most rappers is how real his instability seems. For others, the chaos is an image, a persona. But with YB, it feels like who he actually is. The mood swings, sudden outbursts, random disappearances, it's all part of his reality. And he's admitted it himself. He's been diagnosed as bipolar. Once you know that, a lot starts to make sense. Fans have clocked it for years. One minute he's on live playing with his kids, talking about peace and change, and the next he's flipping out, screaming, breaking things, and threatening to crash out on anyone in his way. That same cycle shows up in how he treats his people. His homies aren't just friends, they're emotional punching bags. When his episodes hit, they're the ones standing closest, so they're the ones who catch the storm first. But here's the problem, they can't fight back. YoungBoy is the breadwinner, the provider, the one paying bills, taking care of families, and keeping people from going broke. If they try to check him, they risk losing everything. So they stay quiet. They take it. And that silence gives YB even more power. He knows they'll never leave no matter how wild he gets. And that makes the cycle nearly impossible to break. DJ Academics explained it better than anyone. After visiting YB's house, he said it was like watching a storm. Calm one moment, total chaos the next. He saw YoungBoy checking his homies like children, raising his voice, even putting hands on them when he felt disrespected. But just hours later, the same YB was laughing with them, cracking jokes, playing around like nothing happened. That's the cycle. Anger followed by affection. Pressure followed by comfort. It keeps his circle off balance. And the scariest part, inside his camp, it's normal. To outsiders, it looks like abuse. But to them, it's just YB being YB. They've adapted to it. And that's what makes it dangerous. It is like walking on eggshells. One wrong move and he could snap. But when he does, his people don't run. They remind themselves of the good side, the times he broke bread with them, paid their mom's rent, threw them a chain, or put them in a video. It's a pattern. He breaks you down, then builds you back up with gifts, making you feel like you owe him. That's how he pulls people deeper into his orbit. And once you're in, it's almost impossible to walk away. For someone like Lil Dump, YB isn't just a boss, he's family. And when family is also your provider, your protector, and sometimes the only person you trust, you'll tolerate the flaws, no matter how bad they are. You convince yourself it's love, even when it looks like control. That's why Dump could sit there with a busted lip and still call YoungBoy his daddy. To him, that wasn't weakness, that was loyalty. But let's be clear, this isn't a normal friendship. It's a bond built on dependency, unstable moods, and fear. YoungBoy's mental struggles don't just affect him, they shape the lives of everyone around him. His crew isn't just riding with a superstar, they're surviving alongside a storm that could break at any moment. And as long as YB holds the power and the money, that cycle will keep spinning. That leads to the real question. Is it respect or fear? On the surface, it looks like all love. They rep his name, defend him online, ride in his cars. But when you look closer, that loyalty doesn't always feel natural. It looks forced, like survival. Take Lil Dump. He didn't just call YB daddy, he ignored moments that should have made any man walk away. The busted lip, the rumors of hands being thrown. Dump stayed quiet, loyal, and ready whenever YB said move. That's not just respect, that's submission. YB's crew dynamic is less like an entourage and more like a strict household. He's the parent, they're the kids. He sets the rules, and if you step out of line, he'll check you. Academics even confirmed it after visiting his house. He saw YB snapping on his own people, checking them hard, maybe even putting hands on them. And nobody argued. They stayed silent, like kids getting scolded by their father. It left fans asking, is that leadership or fear? Because fear and respect look the same from the outside. Both keep people loyal, both keep people in line. But the difference is choice. Respect means you follow someone because you believe in them. Fear means you follow because you're scared not to. And when it comes to YoungBoy's circle, fear is definitely part of the equation. When he snaps on outsiders, they can walk away, they can clap back, but his inner circle, they can't. Their safety, their families, their money, all of it is tight to him. So when he snaps, their only move is to take it and move forward. But here's the twist. They do love him. Many grew up with him. They watched him go from nothing to one of the biggest artists in the world. To them, he's proof that escape is possible. That's where the respect comes in. Even after the discipline, the yelling, the chaos, they still believe in him. So it's not just fear. It's not just respect. It's a toxic blend of dependency, loyalty, admiration, and the fear of what life would be without him. That balance, that emotional tug of war, is what keeps YoungBoy